Good afternoon. This is Apostle Dolores Kendrick. Welcome to Hope Lives Here. It's good to have you join with me again. And I am just excited because some of you are excited over the just wisdom words on being late, giving just little practical ways to correct being late all the time. I said we would continue on this subject, and I am going to today because we sort of ran out of time before, and I wanted to cover this. I'm hoping that you took advantage of just getting a journal and began to just set your calendars, just rearrange your schedule where you're able to breathe, you're able to just not feel so guilty and have so much stress because of being late all the time. We're going to conquer this if you're willing to take the little lessons and just practical things that you can do. Not anything deep, not anything that will take a lot of your time, but just little practical things that can help you. Um, Knowing that, accepting the fact that this is disrespectful and people look at you in a way of, oh, here she comes. Well, you know she's going to be late. You know he's going to be late. So let's not even worry about it. Let's not give them any responsibility where they have to start anything in the beginnings because they're not going to be here. We want to correct that. You don't want that where people to look upon you with that look. Okay, so I'm hoping that you're keeping your calendar, and I'm hoping that you are preparing. Uh, your what you're gonna wear the night before, just laying it out, and whether, as we said, you're on virtual or you're physically meeting, uh, lay your clothes out and dress accordingly for the occasion. Let's not be sloppy and let's not be lazy in our dress. And also going to bed at a decent hour. And so, where you will feel like getting up, where you'll feel like this, and I'm going to review some of these things for you today and hope that you can just jot them down and they will be a guide for you. Consider not only how it makes the people feel, but how it makes you feel. People around you, as they see you as irresponsible, inconsiderate, and disrespectful for being late all the time, try putting yourself in their shoes, okay? Try putting yourself, just switch places, and how would you feel if you had prepared, let's say you prepared a meal for someone and you had it just ready and just perfect and they came 30 minutes late, or some people come even an hour late. Some people think that is something cool to do, to walk into a place late. It is rude and it's disrespectful. But think about how they would feel, how you would feel, excuse me, if that was done to you, okay? So if you find people on or your coworkers disrespecting you, check out the reason why. This could be really a drawback in you being promoted sometimes, being placed in a position because eyes are always watching you. Someone is always observing you. And so let's check out and see, put yourself in their position and see how that would make you feel. That it, especially in a relationship, that they were always late. It would be as though that they didn't too much care. You were an afterthought. So that could be the same way that they're feeling toward you when you're late. Think about the consequences. Is it it's is worth it? Is it worth it to be thought of and looked upon as irresponsible? No, it isn't. Maybe that the very thing that you could begin to set your journal and just write down how you would feel. Just take a pen and just write down, how would I feel if someone always was late to an appointment for me. Write it out. Sometimes when we write things out and we see it, it becomes more effective in our lives. And then you can give that to God and you can pray. Prepare what you will wear, we said the next day. Keep a journal on your progress. And the old saying that the early bird catches the worm has to do with rising early. Mark 1:35 says, and in the morning, rising up a great while before day, he went out and departed into a solitary place and there prayed. Jesus rose up early to be with his Father because he had a busy schedule. He had a very busy schedule. And if he would not have went before his Father in prayer to balance out that schedule, to let him know who he should stop and pray for and who he should just continue on. We realize that the book could not hold, the Bible couldn't hold all the miracles and all the things that Jesus, who he spoke to and who he ministered to. But we do know that there were those that he just passed on by. Some people touched him. He didn't even respond to that. Some people touched him and he turned around and said, "Who touched me?" So we realized that he had to go and have communication with his Father to know who to spend time with and who not to spend time with. So we realize in the morning again, Mark 1:35, rising up a great while before day, Jesus, he went out and departed into a solitary place and there prayed. So he could get instructions from his Father of what his day was going to be like, what his week was going to be like. Proverbs 31, speaking of the Proverbs woman, the virtuous woman, in the 15th verse, it says, she riseth also while it is night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. So we see rising early and being before the Lord. It prepares your day. Many times we can arrive to a party too early. There's some that I believe that come late, and then there is just as bad, I feel, to come early because, again, we're not respecting our host. We're not respecting that she is doing the last minute arrangements and preparations for you. And if you come 40 minutes and 30 minutes early, some people come an hour early, that is putting her in a very uncomfortable, or him in a very uncomfortable position, having to entertain you and finish preparing, or maybe getting dressed after preparing a meal or so, and they have to leave you prepared that you have coffee or you're comfortable. That's just doesn't make any sense. And so let's not come too early and let's not come too late. Now, on the other side of the coin, what seems only evident isn't always the case. The chronic late person isn't necessarily trying to be disrespectful, as we've said over and over, but there are other issues that has to be examined. So before we criticize them, before we crucify them, let's check some things out. If you're in a relationship that is stressing you out because the person is always late, and this is just really getting you into some people are just getting stressed out because of this. Well, do they care? Well, can't they be on time? Don't they care enough about me to be on time? So let's look at maybe some of the issues that they're having in their lives. Some people process time differently. Okay, they feel they can get a particular project finished in a certain amount of time, and they misjudge every time. It's not that they're not caring of you or just disrespecting you, as we spoke often, but before you judge them too harshly, um, let's just slow down here and realize there could be some issues, okay? If you find you're always waiting for that friend to pick you up on time, stop and begin to meet them rather than have them pick you up, maybe. Maybe it would be wise to meet them someplace where you don't have to be waiting and you have to come into that particular place late. This will release the stress level that you will have. Uh, the comfort of knowing that you're on time. And this might be difficult for you. You might say, well, in that case, if I'm going to go by myself and meet them, I do not need the relationship. And that is a thought. Maybe not. If I'm thinking of stressful things to you, if this is stressing you to the point that it's really causing anger within you, then we must consider, is this relationship worth it? Something is good. I mean, sometimes it's good to have a time of sitting down, sharing with the individual how this makes you feel. This makes me feel that you don't care. This makes me feel as though, why are you always late? What is going on here? I can't depend upon you. And so, I want you to be stress less, if that's the word. I want you to, in this hour we're living, we have enough things that's happening in our lives that we do not need to be burdened with unnecessary things. So in relationships, maybe this will speak to you if this relationship is for me or if it isn't. Maybe that person didn't realize how important the time meant to you or how it made you feel that they just didn't care. So communication is very important. So maybe it's time to just pray about this situation, pray about this relationship, and see, because some people it would not bother, some people it would stress out, and so pray about this and say, is this worth it? Okay, whatever lessens your stress, you have to do it. It's worth it because we're living in a very stressful, much tension in the world, anxiety today, and it works on our physical body. Okay, and if you're a person that prides yourself on always being on time, and this is very important to you, then this is going to be problems in the relationship. So don't be hard on yourself that you are like this, but maybe you can kind of, you know, ease a little bit and have a little flexibility and have a little grace. Yes, a little grace to understand sometimes what's happening if you can. If you cannot, then I think you need to reconsider. Ephesians 5:15 said, look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time because the days are evil. And then Colossians 4:5 said, walk in wisdom toward outsiders, making the best use of time. So we want to do this, don't we? We want to get your journal and just begin to write what you feel. If you are a person that's late all the time, write it down and just go through these practical answers that might be a help to you. If you are a person that the person that you're with is always late with you, write it in your journal. Take it to God. See what it is that you can communicate or that you can just begin to resolve some things. I want you to be your stress level to be not as bad because we're going to see some things taking place in this hour that could cause us to almost feel like giving up. I don't want you to give up. I want you to press in. I want you to pray. I want you to seek the Lord and ask Him to give me the direction for my life. Give me the relationships that are going to be a blessing to me, and I'm going to be a blessing to them. I do not want to be connected with the wrong person. I want to be connected with the right person, that together we can be a blessing to one another and we can give glory to the Lord. Amen. So, well, we went a little over today, but God bless you, and have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. And don't forget, get that journal and write some of these things down, okay? God bless you.